Welcome to the Chelsea news here on Chels Daft. Plenty to feature. Reece James, Christian Pulisic, Aubameyang, Mbappe. Believe it or not, yes, I said Mbappe. Graham Potter, N'Golo Kante, and much, much more. This is just simple news updates. No self-obsessed nonsense, no waffle, just straight to the point. And hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you do enjoy it, smash the like button for me and then subscribe to the channel. But let's get straight into it and talk about Reece James being doubtful for the World Cup after suffering knee ligament damage, as reported by The Telegraph. Now, Reece James was out and about in Italy the day after the game against AC Milan and flew home on a budget airline and seemed to be alright, having photographs taken with various members who've posted up on social media, kindly enough. But James has had to see a specialist this weekend about his knee. It's knee ligament damage, and they're trying to work out exactly how bad it is. Obviously, the innocuous challenge on the game against AC Milan seemed to jar his knee, and you could see him do it. You sort of thought at the time, my God, that just doesn't seem right. But he was up and he sort of walked off the pitch of his own steam, and you just hope and fingers crossed that it's not too bad and it might just be a couple of weeks to calm down and hopefully get back to being match fit again. The problem that we've got as Chelsea fans is that we lost Reece James for a period last season and we were never the same without him. Trying to fit other people in there, as Pulisic can do a job out there, but no one is as good as Reece James or influential as Reece James. And when I say that, I might be a little bit biased being a Chelsea fan, but I'm just being honest. He's the best right back in world football defensively. And also going forward, what he gives as a whole, as a product, the product that is Reece James, is unbelievable. Forget your Trent Alexander-Arnold nonsense. The guy's powder puff defensively. Going forward with the ball at his feet is a magician, obviously. We all know and aware of that. But Reece James is the whole package. He's complete package. And I've seen comments, and I've seen a TV interview the other day, and they said that this year he's taken his game to another level, and he has. Reece James is just absolutely outstanding. Outstanding Reece James. And we can only hope it's just a couple of weeks. Obviously, as far as the bigger picture goes with England, they all want him there as a World Cup because Kyle Walker's injured. If Reece James is injured, you leave yourself with Trent Alexander-Arnold and as a right back. You'd probably swap Kieran Trippier for that position because Southgate loves Trippier for some reason. Anyway, the most important thing is, from our own personal and selfish point of view, is that Reece James gets back to being match fit as quickly as possible, and hopefully he's not out for too long and the scans reveal that it's not as bad as it seemed. Fingers crossed. What do you think about Reece James' injury? What do you think about the influence he's had on the team and his game this season? Just taking it to another level. Let me know, comment section. Now then, people, we need to talk about N'Golo Kante, and it's a situation which I don't really want to talk about. I don't feel comfortable in doing so because I love the guy. N'Golo Kante is so understated. Off the pitch, you hardly hear anything about him. On it, when he's fully fit, he's just an explosion. It's just going from one extreme to the other. The guy's so quiet, so timid. He's family orientated. He's not got no interest in being this big star. But on that football pitch, he dominates. And he literally makes such a massive impact. And that's what I struggle with when we're asking the question now about Kante and his injury. With the fact that he's had a breakdown again. He's now ruled out of the World Cup. And they're talking that he won't be back until January, Kante. We need to ask ourselves the question. And I need to ask this question because I'm having conversations with Chelsea fans I know. Members of my family that obviously I'm aware of. If I weren't aware of my family, it'd be a bit strange. But talking about Kante, and is it now time for Chelsea to cut ties with Kante because he's so injury prone now? Think of what he did in the early stage of his career. He just played and played and played. Was literally game after game in France, through Leicester, through Chelsea. And all of a sudden it's got to a point where he's got a lot of injury problems and he's had them non-stop. They're talking about the fact that it's sort of 70% now of his time these days is on the sidelines. But it's that 30%. And what he gives you on the football pitch is far better than anything else that's around, in my view. Going forward, defensively. Just someone having an influence on the football pitch and like an aura about them when the opposition play against him because they know, it's N'Golo Kante, to try and deal with him because he's just outrageous. When he's fully fit, he still offers so much. And that's the biggest problem for every single one of us right now It's because we know that if we can get him fit and keep him fit for a sustained period of time, he could be the difference in Chelsea finishing top 4. He could be the difference in Chelsea pushing for top 2 maybe. And to try and get to the latter stage of these cup competitions, because he can just come up with a moment. But it's when he's not there is the problem. So I'm going to ask you guys the question. Is it time to call time on N'Golo Kante's Chelsea career? Because he's not going to be around for the most part. But is it still time to keep hold of him because of what he gives us? I'd love to keep hold of him, but now I'm sort of pushing now towards the fact we need to move on. And I hate saying that. Let me know what you think. Comment section below. So let's talk about Christian Pulisic. He's been miserable for a while, but apparently he's extremely happy at Chelsea, despite lack of game time this season, and the fact that when he initially Graham Potter come in, he wasn't being played, but he played recently and he started the game in the league the other week and he did great, got his goal. Obviously didn't start against AC Milan, but we'll see. But he still says that he's extremely happy at Chelsea and the Premier League is the best in the world. So what he wrote in his book about his frustrations with the previous manager and everything else seems to have just been put to bed, which is the main thing, because we want a happy Christian Pulisic, because what we saw in one of the last news videos that I did, there were claims from the US MNT or whatever they're called that Chelsea are trying to harm his prospects for the World Cup because we're in the same group and all this nonsense. The main thing is he is now happy, extremely, and that's the main thing. So let's hope that Christian Pulisic can have an influence between now and the World Cup, and when he comes back from the World Cup, he plays his part between now and the end of the season. Thank God he's happy. And it's all over. All this it'll be miserable, I should say. All this miserability. What kind of a word's that? I don't know. Let's move on. Now, I want to talk about transfer stories. I'm going to talk about 3 people. And all of them are absolute nonsense. I have to say, it's absolute nonsense. And the first one, Kylian Mbappe. Apparently, Chelsea are serious contenders to sign him. He's fallen out with PSG. I've seen a report this morning saying he wants to buy his contract out of €635,000 a week just to leave the club and go somewhere else. Real Madrid wanted him, couldn't get him for whatever reason. He then signed this new deal, but he's now fallen out of favour with them and everything's just going awry. And they're sort of putting 2 and 2 together to get 24, and they're saying that because Todd Boehly's after a marquee signing, there's a lot of money, that Chelsea are serious contenders to sign Mbappe. Are you sure? How genuine do you guys believe that to be the case? Because if he does come over, imagine the wages he's going to be on. It's just going to be scandalous, absolute scandalous money. And I actually think the guy is a bit of a pleb, really. But I guess he's not in his own personal point of view because he kept taking the money they're giving him at PSG. But he now must look at himself and think, I've put myself in a position now where I'm earning far too much. I'm pricing myself out of a move anywhere else in the world. Oh dear. What do you think? Mbappe to Chelsea, really? Let me know. Comment section. Another completely nonsense story was this one. Chelsea apparently are willing to pay more than 100 million for Jude Bellingham. Now, Bellingham is high priority on a whole number of different Premier League clubs' radars. Now, Man City going to be there. Liverpool going to be there. United going to be there. Chelsea going to be there. It all depends on what we do this season, and it all depends on what happens between now and then. Now, hopefully Chelsea are getting themselves back to being where we should be, winning games and playing well week by week, and we make a challenge. But Jude Bellingham is an outstanding talent. But is he not similar to what we've got already with Kai Havertz and Mason Mount? I know people will go, well, it's ridiculous, they're different players, blah, blah, blah. Bellingham's only 19 or whatever he is. But it's all well and good paying money for these players, but they need to fit into the squad. And does that mean that one of them will need to go to bring Bellingham in? Do you think we're going to sign him? Do you think he wants to come to us if we finish top 4 or go to someone like Man City to link up again with Haaland, his ex-teammate from Dortmund? I think Chelsea are down the pecking order for me, purely and simply because we've not been there or thereabouts challenging for titles. I think that's what comes down to it when it comes to Bellingham. Hopefully I'm wrong, Let me know what you guys think. Comment section. Another ridiculous story was this one. Chelsea are keen on shock Gabriel Martinelli transfer and waiting in the wings if he fails to sign a new Arsenal contract. Now, he's going to sign an Arsenal contract. He's playing football week in, week out. He's playing well. He's scoring goals in my fantasy team. And everything's going hunky-dory over there at the moment in North London until they're going to go all Spursy and it all just falls apart, which we know it will do, and with Tottenham as well. So Martinelli's going to sign a new contract with the Arsenal. There's no nonsense linking him with Chelsea as far as I'm concerned. 3 nonsense stories: Mbappe, Bellingham, Martinelli. What do you guys think? Let me know. Comment section below. Now I just want to talk about Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who come to the football club with something to prove, which sounds ridiculous based on his goal-scoring record. Now, I've sat and watched the Amazon Prime documentary, Arsenal All or Nothing, and it seems as though Chelsea are probably next in line for one of those type of documentaries, God help us. And let's just be honest, he wasn't painted a great light, was he, Aubameyang? When he went to Barca, and the way that they sort of pictured it, and that he was disruptive, he lost interest, blah, blah, blah. Now, he come to Chelsea as an out-and-out number 9, a proven goal scorer, and all you wanted him to do at Chelsea was to put the ball in the back of the net, but also to try and be a little bit of a difference, to try and be something we've not had. We had Lukaku come in who wanted to be one type of a striker, more mobile rather than a target man, and couldn't play that way, and it all fell apart. We've had Kai Havertz trying to do the role, but it's not natural to him. Timo Werner couldn't quite fit into that sort of role as well. And Aubameyang's come in as an out-and-out number 9, but also as a link man, but a different kind of a link man. He's not your target man. He's not going to go up against big defenders and hold the ball up and stuff like that. But his presence, his movement to link the play, to drop off deep, link the play and get him behind. Look at his goal against AC Milan. He dropped off to link up with the play and then spun off round the back and got in behind, flick on from Mason Mount. And he was there in loads of space, unmarked to slide the ball home. Slide the ball home. I'll put my teeth in a minute. Anyway, Aubameyang has fallen head over heels for Chelsea, apparently, according to a report in the Evening Standard. And I love that because he's scoring goals, he's enjoying himself, he's all smiles with his teammates, and long may it continue. Long may it continue. What do you think about Aubameyang's start so far? Let me know, comment section. One other little mention I just want to talk about is Graham Potter, the understated, I should say, Graham Potter, who's now unbeaten in 5 games, drawn 1 and won 4, beaten AC Milan, thumped AC Milan twice, who are the Italian champions, and had a great result against Wolves, a great last-minute result against Crystal Palace, and he's just going about his business, nice and quietly, just getting the job done and getting his message across. The players look like they're all playing for him. We all know that he spoke to them one by one individually before the Nations League break, nonsense competition. And what I like is the fact that he's changing formations around. He's trying different things. But when he does it, everyone that comes in or the change that he makes are playing. And they're not struggling. They're playing straight away. They're on it. They're trying to impress, obviously, the new manager. But Chelsea are more dynamic. We're more forward thinking. We're getting the ball forward quicker. We seem to be together and a collective. And it's an outstanding job that he's done, Graham Potter, at Chelsea. And I don't really think he's getting the plaudits for it at the moment. And that doesn't really bother me because I'm quite happy for him to just get on with it. And the players to get on with it. And to keep putting in good performances, hopefully again tomorrow against Aston Villa. And I will be here to do live match commentary, so make sure you stay tuned for that. I think kickoff's 2 o'clock or 2:30, whatever it is, 15 minutes before the game kicks off. I'll be here commentating on the game to talk you through it. If you've never seen my commentary, have a look at my channel and check out the commentary. Ball by ball radio style. Hopefully you enjoy it. But I just want to have a bit of a mention for Graham Potter because I think he's outstanding. What do you think about Potter's start? Let me know, comment section. Guys, that's it from me. Chelsea news update here on Chels Daft, and hopefully you've enjoyed it. Quite laid back and just forward and to the point and no waffle. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, drop a like on it, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time, which will be tomorrow, live match commentary. Have a good Saturday. See you then.